Let's see. I'm just setting up here. There are the chickens. These. There are some there. There's some in the back. I'm not sure when they're all gonna head out here. Let me go set up my chat. All right. Oh, now you have a good view of the grill, which is not needed. Let's see. Let's move that. My grill setup. Actually, we're going to use these tables to set up our scraps on. It's probably the best thing. So this morning I have been sorting scraps. Those are all my 2.5 inchers. These I haven't gone through. This is my stack for crumbs. Oh, we already have lots of people. Okay. Hi, Chloe. Driving to work. Hi, Aisha. All right, so I've got piles going here. So I have 2.5 inch squares. I have 2.5 by 4. I have 2.5 by 5 because hi, Mom. I mean, you can get dressed and come out here and join us. You can read the comments if you like. I guess she's up. So I've got these going. And then these are like pieces of blocks I found within stuff. So they're kind of like starters. This is like from the snippet project I was doing. These are good starters for crumbs. So I will probably put that in my little area over here next to the crumbs. I have some odd shaped triangles I'm finding. And then we have to sort through piles and piles and piles of scraps. Like these are like cutoffs for when I was doing curved quilting. So I'm just gonna look at these and I'm just gonna lop off and try to square them or rectangle them as best as I can can you even see that I'm doing? Probably not. Let me see, let me move us. I can't, nope, I have to move you back a little. I think you could see me now. All right. So I just take these funny shapes and I have this bucket here for doggy beds. But actually, I don't make doggy beds while I'm here. So what I'll probably do is give it to my next door neighbor who does love these little scraps because she does stuff with them. So I'm gonna just stick these in my crumb section. And we will be using the AccuQuilt. So for the AccuQuilt, I figured I needed 5.25 and larger squares. So that is also going in a pile. And I'm just coming in here and kind of measuring, like to see like what can go in that pile. This is already a pre-made block, so that can go in that pre-made block. And this here is, if it's 4.5 or 5, I can use it for this block, this quilt I'm creating. So let's, I guess, talk about that and why I'm cutting these. to these specific sizes. So this is a 4.5. Wait, did I do that right? I didn't measure this side. So yeah, it's a 4.5. All right, so let me go get my list. This little piece, that can go right into the crumb part. So let's talk about why I picked out sizes that I did. So I picked out the sizes I did that I'm cutting right now because there are some quilt ideas on here. Whether I get to them all in Puerto Rico, probably not. But I will bring home the fabric that I cut so that we can do these together. So the one thing I do need is there is a free fat quarter shop pattern. And when I do it, I will link it. But it uses 40 8-inch squares of color and 40 background squares. So I don't remember what it's called. Let me close my cutter. Very important to close the cutter. Now this is a cutter I'm not used to. This one you really have to manually close. So we need that for that quilt. Then I have this quilt. I have no idea what the name is. It's in the AccuQuilt. When you watch some of their videos, they seem to have this quilt on the background a lot. So I just looked at it, took a screenshot of it and looked at it because I couldn't even find it in all the AccuQuilt books that I have. And they have some free patterns, and maybe I'm just not seeing it. And maybe when I start making it, you guys will know, and you can let me know what the name of this quilt that I'll be creating. But it uses 2 4 patches and 2 HSTs with the same background color and then a same main color. So I need to cut 4 2.5-inch squares of color and 4 2.5-inch squares of background, plus 2 HSTs for that quilt. Then we talked about the Crossroads quilt, which uses 1,000,001 2.5-inch squares plus 4.5-inch background squares, which I didn't even write on here. I probably should write that on here. 4.5-inch background. Okay. Then we have, that's from something I'm working on now. Okay. Then what I like to do is, if anyone has never heard of Conquering Mount Scrapmore, please go check her out. She has a wonderful, wonderful channel. Every morning she comes out with a new block. Her name is Brenda. Let her know I sent you. But I'm sure pretty much of all of you know about Brenda. She really is a wonderful lady. We've been corresponding. So she has all these blocks, and one caught my eye, which is called the chicken block, a couple months ago, or was it last month? I don't know. And when I saw it, I said, we're going to try to make that. So the chicken block, if you go, she has a Facebook page. So if you go to Facebook, and I believe hers, you have to join her Facebook page. Mine, you don't. Mine is Pastryqueen's Farm Adventures. You can just go in there, like and follow, and you'll get the info. Brenda's, you have to actually join. But in there, she has files, and under files, she has a lot of her blocks, and one is called the chicken block. The chicken block uses 5 squares of chicken color. She used really tiny, tiny squares, so I'm supersizing it because I cannot be cutting and sewing teeny tiny squares. Just not happening. This quilt will never get done then. So I pretty much know that the way she made this block was through the grid method. So all the blocks are the same size that you're cutting. So I'm going to need 5 squares of the chicken color and then 8 squares of the chicken color HST. That means something to me, may not mean something to you. So what it means is I need to make an HST with a background and the same chicken color I chose. I need 8 of those. And then I need 3 chicken feet color HSTs. So I've got to figure out what color I want to make my chicken feet and make HSTs out of that. So I'm going to be cutting for that. So I think when I say I'm supersizing, I think I'm going to go to 2.5-inch grid. Maybe, see, I think a 4.5-inch grid is going to be too big, and then it's going to look weird because it's not going to flow. So I'm going to go 2.5 with that. Then I'm also trying to cut 8.5-inch squares and 2.5 by 5-inch rectangles for a specific quilt that I'm not sure if I'm launching it or I don't know. I have to get the okay from this person. Um, and and I believe you can go ahead and buy her pattern. I'm not sure if she has it up on Spotify. I have to get the specs, but I know I have the pattern. She sent it to me. And so there's more sizes I need here. That's not the only 2 sizes I need. So I'm cutting for that. And that's what that is. Since we left, I have been working. I have been working diligently in my room and trying to get things done. I am almost done. And once I'm almost done, I'll feel very relaxed. The package will get off to the sender and I will have a little bit more time to be doing this stuff. I am on a break because I found a little blip and I can't proceed. And so today's Monday. So you know how that goes. As a pattern tester, you have to go the designer, let them know where you're at with this little blip and then move on from there. But that's now giving me time this morning to do a live because I've been wanting to do a live. I just haven't been able to. So that's in the works. There's exciting things coming up. Check out the Fabric Cafe page. They're starting to show the up and coming new patterns that are being launched. Reason why I know that is because I'm like, oh wait, I did that pattern a while ago, but I did it. So I know that they are launching a new, I don't know when. I actually don't have any of that information. I have that information just because I have them on my feed and I'm noticing that when they start posting pictures of folded quilts, I know there's something coming up soon. So that's as much information that I know. Let's see what else. So we tried to go to a Puerto Rican version of Coachella. We drove down there. There was no parking. We spent hours trying to find parking. And then when I posted it, someone said, why didn't you take an Uber? What a great idea. Why didn't we think of that? I guess we could have. I don't even know if Uber is a thing here in Puerto Rico, but you know what? We probably could have parked like, I don't know, a whole nother town away, because I think that's where you'd have to go, a whole nother town away, and then call an Uber to bring you into that town. But I didn't think of that. So that's a good reference to know for the future. Where were you, Gina, when we were trying to figure out where we're going to park? Good morning, Tessa. Good morning, Melanie. So that's a bummer. I wish I thought about that, but I didn't. So we just kind of saw it. We were stuck in traffic right by the stage. So then that's when I did a quick video on it. And that's all we got to see. Yesterday, I know it was running yesterday. We did not go. I was working all day. I literally was in my room from 5:30 yesterday morning all the way until almost 7 o'clock last night when I realized, oops, this is where I have to stop now. And I was so close to being finished. So that's what I did yesterday. What did we do today? I did some shopping. So I should probably show you that on a live, all the little things that I got. And it's not all of them because there's stuff all over in bags, but I did do some back to school shopping. So I had done that. What else did I went to the beach, but I did a live with you at the beach. I have not been to the beach because I've been working. So I am hoping today to go to the beach. Maybe I can do a live there. Maybe not. I don't really know where today is going to land because at 9 o'clock I'm going to contact the designer and then we'll go from there. I will be trying to work on more scraps. We've been cooking. I made empanadas. I made pork chops and chicken on the grill. Just keeping it basic, just with some salad, avocados. Oh, the avocados are just wonderful. And then for breakfast, every morning I've been having a mango smoothie. That's really good. Maybe I should do a video on that. You guys probably like that. I probably should do a mango smoothie video. Maybe that's what it'll be. Tomorrow's live will be a mango smoothie. Yes, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually going to be good. While I'm here, I'm gonna try to put my lives ahead of time so you guys know instead of just the pop-up live. Also, I actually had time to do computer work. I never get time to do YouTube studio computer work because there is just so much one has to do that I haven't set up. So this morning when I got up early, I was working on that. So now in my description, I'm hoping, cross my fingers I did it right, I have a generic description, basically the information. So if you ever need to contact me, you can see my email. If you ever need to send me happy mail, you have my address. If you want to see what's on, I don't know if you can see what's on my wish list. I don't think I have that, but you can see, basically I just say I have a wish list at Soft Squares, and you can always send me a gift certificate from your local, your local quilt shop that supports them, right? Because that's your local quilt shop. I gladly accept those, and if they do online ordering, basically all that, my membership links, just basic info, of course, thanking you and letting you know how much I appreciate you all. So that's in there too, but it should automatically pop up in every video underneath description. Plus I will add some stuff in the description. So I worked on that this morning. I worked on making sure that I have moderators incorrectly, which I did. It was fine. Hi, Deb. Deb is one of my moderators, and she also has her own quilt channel called Deb S, the Pug Mommer Quilter. So check her out. She is currently working on her Christmas star. So go check that out. I believe I dropped her into one of my community posts. So you could find her there too. Deb, you're welcome to drop your link in there if you know how to do that, because I can't right now. So yes, so I worked on that. I was tweaking things. I put guidelines in, which I never set up. So I have guidelines. It's basically be respectful of one another. We're all here to support that this is a safe channel. So, this is a safe place. I don't want anyone ever to feel like that this channel is going off the rails a little bit. What else that's basically it. I've been really working. I really have been working. My mom, who I love grocery shopping, has actually been doing the grocery shopping because I've been working. So we're going to get back to doing more of that. Oh, we did go to the flea market. That's right. We went to the flea market Saturday morning. That came up when I dropped in. Oh, great, Melanie. Thank you for letting me know. It's supposed to pop up every time. It's just, as you know, with the trolls, it's getting out of control. So I'm trying to set a lot of different guidelines and stuff and some parameters. So we went to the flea market, and I visited my favorite guy. He's this little guy who's over there in the corner. He's adorable, and he sells fruits and vegetables, and I tend to buy from him all the time. He sells for a fair price, and he's just adorable. He talks he says the most outrageous things, but he is so sweet. So we drank some coconuts. He has, I feel like at that flea market, he has really great, wonderful coconuts. I've never had a bad coconut from him. And hi, Lisa. Lisa is another content creator. Her channel is Awkward Quilter GA. So go check out Lisa. She's doing all kinds of things. She's doing the Ugly Fat Quarter Challenge. She's got some other things going on. Check her out. I actually normally watch Lisa and Deb on Sunday mornings. If you don't know this, if you're up at 7 a.m., they do a live. Of course, yesterday it was all about working, and I couldn't get distracted. So, but they have a wonderful live. I always love attending. So check them both out. So the coconuts are yellow coconuts, and they are so sumptuous and sweet. And so we each had one of those. I had bought mangoes for my mango smoothies and little baby bananas for my smoothies. What else did we get? We got some limes. I think that's all we got. I think that's it. And he didn't have very much. We went later. He says, you have to come here first thing in the morning. Because I was trying to also get what they call a Hawaiian banana, which is a banana that is like a purple pinkish outside. And I wanted to buy one for my mom to plant it here, But he's like, they are out. You have to, maybe next Saturday I'll get up super early to do that. Oh, here, I'll show you this. So here, this is a breadfruit. I come out here in the morning and kind of walk the backyard to see what fruit has dropped. And I am not a big fan of eating this, but you know, maybe I need to start, you know, cooking this. I know cleaning these can be a situation because when you cut into it, it becomes a white, milky, sticky substance that turns everything brown, so and sticky. So I think that's why I really never played with these, because they just it just seems like a lot of work, and have like, I don't know why I'm afraid for my clothes. um, I have not had breadfruit in a very, very long time. Well, I wish I could send you some of this, Lisa, but you cannot mail this. You cannot send this out of the, like, I can't even bring this home. Um, so that's what this is. Normally they're bigger. So my guess is my grandma's going to tell me this is not ripe and ready or whatever. It feels firm with a little give, so I'm not sure. I pulled it so that I could show her. So that's a breadfruit. Normally I'd be able to show you star fruit. I mean, during this time, generally for years, this is star fruit time and mango time. And I'm not seeing a star fruit and mango anywhere. I look for star fruit because star fruit here is very different than star fruit that you get in the US. The one in the US is kind of like, I don't know, green, and no, here they're like a yellow orange, and they are super delicious. But couldn't find any, so didn't have any of that. What else was going on that day? I think that's it. I think we went to the farmer's market and then we came back and I worked. So I'm hoping I'm at the finish line. I'm hoping from here on to next week, it'll be a lot more freeing. Oh, I went to salsa night on Friday night, but you guys know that because I did a live. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself a lot. And that's really it. That's all I've been up to and I just pulled out all my scraps, as you can see here. Anyone have any questions for me? And how are you all doing? And what are you all working on? Are you guys going to be working on scraps as well? Let's see. I am looking. Here it is. I have also a 6.5 inch square. So this one here is 5 inches wide. So these would be good to strip up into 2.5. And so I think I can use this in my AccuQuilt die, because there is an AccuQuilt die that's 2.5 by 4.5. So I think I can use that in my AccuQuilt. So that can go for that pile. Do you like the Go machine? I do. I used it the one day, Deb, so I'm, just the one day. Right now, though, I really figured out that you can't just go. I thought that you could take the die machine and you can just start grabbing from your stash and just start cutting. And as you saw, I was trying to do that with little to some results. So I'm finding that I really do need to cut things out. So like for HSTs, I have to cut 5 1/4. For this, this is 5 by, I don't know what this is, 5 by, it's bigger than what I need by 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. So there is prep work to it, and I didn't know that. So that's kind of like what's happening here. I'm doing prep work. Like these that I cut out, I already had 2.5 inch pieces. And after I cut the 4.5, I had enough to do a 2.5. That I have to actually do the traditional way. There's no way to do that on the AccuQuilt. So it's a combination of both. I think I'm gonna love it once I get a routine. And the routine is gonna be, and I say this and I hope I keep to it, is after doing a quilt, instead of just throwing my scraps in a pile, to actually cut them down and say, okay, this is for the AccuQuilt pile. And then this way I can just crank them out. That's what I really need to do. Lisa, can you pack Puerto Rico in your suitcase and bring it home? I wish I could for you, Lisa. I wish I could. Found several whips that I'm trying to finish. Some are 2 years old. Got one done. Well, congratulations. That's great. That's really great. Yeah, I didn't bring any whips with me. I have some at home, and that I'll be maybe working on my next adventure when I get home. But you know, I'm hoping to stay on top of things. So what I'm really doing now is like this is four. It's not enough for me to put through the go die. So because this is not enough for me to put through the go die, as far as the way they tell you to run it, I'm going to have to do this traditionally. And this measures 4. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm doing a wonky log cabin, anything that I find that's an odd shape or square, I'm putting it to a side. And I'm thinking maybe I'll use those as my centers. Um, so I have lots. I mean, I guess I could cut this down to 2.5 inch, right? Right now it's like a 4 by 4 inch, which sounds like a very large center. What to do with this? So what I should do is I'm gonna strip this into a 2.5. So I have this little thing that I also got from Rhonda to use with my AccuQuilt. So I'm gonna cut this down to a 2.5 inch strip, and then I'm gonna take this and put this in my crumbs. And then later on, I'll go back, iron this, and try to cut out some 4.5 and 2.5. I mean, that's how I'm wrapping my brain around how to process all these, because there is so much. I love your adventures. I have so much fun on them. Well, thank you. Looking forward to getting home, recover from traveling, and get caught up on all my BO. And yes, yeah, I should be when I go home and do that, but no, we're going on something else. I'm telling you, I really want to go to, I have it in my head, I want to go to Montreal when I get back home. So I just will have to see if I can make that happen. So I'm like looking at this one here, and I can't use this piece in the AccuQuilt. So I'm gonna have to cut this one down as well. And I'm just going to, being that the most the size that I seem to need the most is everything is from a 2.5, right? Because I have 2.5 by 2.5, 2.5 by 4.5, 2.5 by 5. So I'm gonna put these on this corner, and then whatever else that's left, like look at this. This I think I could get a 2.5 inch square in this little corner. So it's time and patience in which processing scraps take, right? There may be a point on this trip, because I've seen these for so long. There may be a point on this trip that I may just have to give these scraps to someone who can use them and pass them forward to someone that can use them here on this island. Not that I don't love you all and want to send them all to you, but it is very difficult to find fabric here for quilting. It really is. So if I can help someone out here who can use it, that would be fabulous. So here, I have a big piece here. So this piece, I probably, right, let's see, I need, for that fat quarter shop thing I want to do that I just saw, is, okay, 40 squares. So I need 4 HSTs to do that. So I should have figured out the color. So if I need 4 HSTs, right, that means I need 2 8-inch blocks per color. 2 8-inch blocks per color. Wow. Sometimes, let's see. All right, here we go. Oh, I'm gonna do a fun live. Another fun live. Not that this one isn't fun, but I want to do a live. I just gotta talk and convince I want to do a live with my mom and my Grammy. So, and it'd probably be something like processing scrub. So this is 8.5 and 8-inch blocks. So I can't get two. Oh, maybe on this side. Let me see. That's a bummer. Oh, I can get, yes, I can. If I go this way, I can get two 8-inch blocks. Wait till you see this pattern. I'm going to write down the name of it because I think you guys should download it ahead of time, and then maybe it's something we can work on together. Oh, absolutely, Lisa. I would say have fun at work, but you know, tolerate work today. Bye, Lisa. So here we go. We are going to make this happen. We're going to come in here. So anything big like this, even though I could cut this up easily for an AccuQuilt die, I mean, I definitely can use this for this big project. I was thinking about maybe even trying to figure out how to convert that pattern so that we can use an AccuQuilt die. But the thing is, it would have to be really tiny. So now this is going to go on a pile here. So now I have one block ready to go for there. And look, I do think this will be good for an AccuQuilt die. Yes. Yep. So here we go. I'm going to come in here and just cut this up for an AccuQuilt die, and we are good. And this will actually be this one. Yeah, put it here. Okay. I'll put that, and this is all I have left out of that whole big piece of scrap. Because now I'm using this pile. We're going on to this pile, and I'm going to open this up. I'm going to give this a quick press. Put this over here. And let's see what we can get out of here. The other thing with the AccuQuilt die is we have to make sure things are on the cross grain lengthwise, straight grain. We have to run it through in the straight grain. So like this, I know I can. And look, perfect. I have another wonderful piece here that I can use in my AccuQuilt die. So we're gonna go for it here. And we could rough cut. It's not like, I'm just gonna put all these piles here. So I could use that. And this one I can't. And this one I can't. So this we are going to make, what other sizes do I need? I need, oh, chicken color. Oh, but those are 2.5-inch squares. So we're good with that. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and now we're gonna strip these. That's one thing. I think though, if I had maybe the stripping die, that may be good. I don't know. Like your cutting zone, are you sewing there? No, so right now I actually have a sew station in my room where there's AC, because being that, you know, I'm not outside getting a breeze, I can't be in the room that's 100 degrees. So I have a setup. I could take you one day into my room. Normally I'm on the other side of this. So here we go. We're gonna go here. But I do sew out here on the other side when I'm just, you know, doing a morning live sew and I'm a little bit more relaxed in my own sewing, because my own sewing is very different than when you sew for someone else, right? When you do samples and stuff like that. So this piece here, I'm just going to cut that off And that's gonna go into my crumbs bit. And then I have now another long piece that I can cut and play with later on. Let's see. Good morning, Sheila. So I'm coming in here and seeing what the size. So again, this one, I can get a 4.5-inch piece going across, which is great because that, right, this I can use for, you know, making some 4.5-inch blocks. I'm gonna come over here. I have this other piece, and that came from a quilt. Give that a quick. So let me show you where I am pressing right now. It's a little bit of a mess. I apologize. So here we go. I'm over here. You know what? I'm gonna take my whole stack so I don't have to do this every time. So these are my AccuQuilt ones that we did that first time. And I have my system here because this is like my AccuQuilt system area where I'm gonna process scraps. So I have this ironing station. If you all, look, this little scrap, I'll just cut that manually. If you have tips and tricks, feel free to let me know. Maybe I'm doing things a little bit more complicated than need be, but this is the only thing I could think of as far as how to use this efficiently, is to kind of cut them down to the size that they recommend you cut down your scraps to, or your yardage to. What I need to do is find out, is there a chart for the Go Cube dies where it's a printout that I can print out to know the cutting sizes? Because right now I'm just like measuring the die as I need it and adding the 1/4 inch all the way around. But maybe they already have something, you know, set for the Go Cube, some kind of cutting chart. So let me know if this is a thing. Maybe I need to be the person, if not to create one. Cutting fabric is not so much a chore when you do it with friends. That's true. Absolutely. That is so true. Oh, this iron here, I bought this iron on Amazon. Well, they sell, this is the only, first of all, this is basically the only iron you can get here. In every store, you see this Continental iron here, and it works great. It's heavy, and it works great. I bought 3 of these in New York. They have either broken, stopped working, or whatnot. This one, my Grammy and Mama has had this forever. I do not understand why I do not have luck with that iron, but it doesn't matter anymore because I have an Alicio iron. So there. So that's my new iron, but because this sucker gets hot. That's why I liked it. All right, so we have these that are already pressed. And let me press the rest of these. So we are working on whips. Anybody working on any UFOs? Those are older than a whip, if I understand right. The UFO is... And is anyone excited to working on something new? Are we looking to work on something new? Oh, you guys, you all, I say you guys, it must be something. You all, look at this. Do you guys see? Do you all kind of remember where this came from? I just did a passive forward quilt using this fabric. You could tell my time frame the way I talk, right? Antiquated times I talk. So this fabric here is really interesting. One day I'll have to show you. I bought a bolt of this fabric, and I thought they were quilt labels, and I have used them for quilt labels. Then I read, like, you can, if you look at this, you can do embroidery on it. But you know what? I use this for background fabric. I've used it multiple times for background fabric. Oh, this, see, I love going through fabrics because I remember this was also a passive forward blanket I made for a lady in a nursing home, and she liked geraniums and she liked red. And when her family member told me that, and I went into my stash and saw this, I made her a quilt using this. I had to get rid of the stuff to finish my. Yeah. What's the stuff you had to get rid of? Did I miss something? Maybe not. Did you finish your candies? Aisha, did you finish your candies quilt? Or so I believe this Aisha has a channel. So go check out Aisha's channel. I don't think I gave her a shout out. She has a channel called Aisha's Homemade Items. She has wonderful quotes that she puts up on her community tab. I want to say almost every day. And then she's very beginner to quilting. And so, you know, let's give her all the love and support because this is her journey through quilting. So she's doing the candies quilts along, and I think this is like one of her first quilts. I hadn't finished it yet. All right. You never started, Melanie? That's another one to do on your list. Well, there's going to be some also exciting things when I get home. So I would like to go on another adventure, like I told you. I'd like to go on another adventure before I go back to school. But the honest truth is I probably shouldn't be going on another adventure, but you know me. I don't know if I could sit still at home. I am in the process of changing my studio. I've actually outgrown my studio. And I know a lot of you say, what do you mean outgrown? I sew on a kitchen table. And I understand that. And I sewed on a kitchen table too for many, many, many years. Sometimes I sewed in my bedroom on like the bureau. So been there. I've been doing other things and still unpacking. Been there and done that. So I have unfortunately outgrown it. Main reason why I outgrew it is because of the long arm. The long arm is in there. If I did not have the long arm in there, I absolutely could stay in that room. That used to be my daughter's room. But, you know, besides doing YouTube and doing sample quilt making, which is another reason why I need to expand my room, I also do lessons. Not that I'm saying you need to come from, but locally, I have people who come and email me or text me or whatever and want quilting lessons. And when I didn't have my long arm, I had a little station so that when someone came, they didn't even have to bring their sewing machine. They could just come and I could, you know, teach them the basics of quilting. But I don't have that luxury anymore. And now I'm having these ladies who I hadn't heard from in a while. And they're basically ladies, just haven't had a gentleman come. I mean, a gentleman can come too, but I just haven't had one show up. They are having grandbabies and they want to make their quilt, but have never quilted or sewed. And so I will sit there, they will pick their pattern and I will say, I don't know about this. Like half square triangles? No. Quarter square triangles? No. Let's try something whatnot. If they really, really have their heart set on a quarter square triangle, a half square triangle to make a certain thing, what ends up happening is I make that part of the quilt and they do the other part. So we're kind of doing the quilt together, but them doing most of it. And then the quilting, whoops, sorry, I have to just run real quick things are flying. All right. With the quilting, they can do straight line quilting, or I can, you know, we can load it and they can watch me free motion quilt it if they'd like. A lot of times, believe it or not, they would really like to do straight line quilting, and that's totally fine. So we'll do that. But they have all, just like right before I left Puerto Rico, I had on contacts of, I really need your services. And so being that I have so many coming for my services, I have to expand. So I'm taking over the living room / what used to be the dining room, which is now like a kitchenette room. But they're all connected in one big room. So we're talking about me taking over that whole section of the house and then making my current studio, which is what used to be a bedroom, the actual like living, entertainment, whatever you want to call, sit, relax room. And I think it's going to be good. I mean, the only drawback is that it has a fireplace, and I'm afraid about smoky smell, so there probably won't be many. Whoops, oh no. Okay, now I have stuff everywhere. All right, give me a second. Give me a second to figure out how to manage this. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Hold on, I'm sorry. Then I'll finish my story. I'm going to take my mat and throw everything, then put the mat on top. Hold on. I'm going to take this, shut this off, and I'm going to throw, no, I need to be ironing. Here, I'll put this. Sorry. Okay, because I do not want to pick up a million in one little 2.5-inch squares. So, so I think we're going to take over the big room and then make the little bedroom a living area. This way I can set what I'm thinking in my head, my long arm into like the dining room, kitchenette area. I'm gonna take all that out. I'm gonna just purge a lot of stuff at this point because that's what I'm gonna have to do. I don't have room to keep everything. So I'm gonna have to purge everything and put that there. And then my living room, we just won't have too many fires because I am worried about the fabric. But what I may do is so that entertainment room has those 2 big closets. I think I may just keep my fabric in there. Then this way the fabric isn't necessarily in the room. So if we do use the room because it's a cold winter day and we just want to relax, I am keeping a sofa in there so that also my honey has a little area. Because right now he doesn't have an area. So, and he would like to be in the same room as me. Normally he has to be downstairs because in my studio there's only room for me. So we're gonna make him a little area. And I think that's what we're going to do so that I have room so that these people can come and enjoy and sit and sew. And maybe I will have a sit and sew. I'm toying with the idea. If this all goes out well, I may start doing sit and sews for people who are locally in the area or who are willing to drive. So, you know, we're toying on different ideas. Let's see. Melanie's unpacking. And I know that's a chore. That is a chore. You need a she shed. I do need a she shed. I just can't afford a she shed. So therefore, we're just going to throw out a lot of, no, I'm not going to throw out anything because I can't do that. I will be giving away a lot of stuff. I will be having a ginormous free pile at the end of my road or sending it to thrift shops. A lot of thrift shops don't want glassware and all that stuff. You know, I just want it to go somewhere that someone can use it. Yes, I do, Sheila. I just can't. I looked. I even looked at camper. Remember I told you I was going to campers, looking at campers? And the reason why we were looking at campers is for 2 reasons. One was to travel with or use as a she shed. I will be facing the same dilemma when I get back. Need bigger studio space. Long arms take up so much room. Exactly. And actually, I was keeping everything the same. Eventually, you will have a retreat house. Yes, eventually I will. If I ever find any kind of property whatsoever, maybe there will be a retreat house, you know, in the tropics. But for right now, I have a dilemma, and I think the way we had decided to do the dilemma, honestly, the easiest way would have just been to convert my master bedroom suite, which is where, you know, where we are, and us just move in the tiny bedroom, but that did not fly well at all. He was like, nope, you can take over the living room and the other room, and that's even bigger. So yeah, so there's some things in the works. Hospice thrift shops, they take a lot of things, including glass. Yes, they do. We don't have one around here, but the place, the cancer thrift in which I pass forward my blankets to, they do take glassware. And so I actually had talked to her, and she did say she would take it. So that's why I said nothing's going to go to waste. There'll be some that will be free at the end of the road and some that will be going to some thrift stores for like that. Because, yeah. Because I have glassware. What else do I have to get rid of in there? Not really much. I don't have much in the kitchenette. There's little appliances and stuff, but my one son is moving out, so he's going to take a lot. I'm like, here, honey, take it all, because there's a lot of furniture, and he's going to take a lot of the furniture and stuff. So, so that's why I'm going to have room to be able to do this, because I'm going to get rid of a lot of furniture, and he can use the furniture. So it's great. It's a win-win for both of us. And some of the furniture is his. So there you go. So that's supposed to be happening, and these ladies will be coming in the fall, so September and October. So I should be working on that when I get home, but I know me, and I know that I'm not a procrastinator when it comes to, like, when I get a quilt and they say, oh, you have a month to do it, I do it within a week or two and out it goes, because I don't want that stress on me of, like, have to get it done. But if it's something that I need to do, like change a room or unpack or like go through mail, I just wait till the last moment. I work better that way. Lucky me, my school lets me use my home ec room for a sit-in. So, oh, that's great. And I will find those. This is the perfect time, because when I do all that, I will find that box if I still have it. Because honestly, I did remember giving stuff away, but I don't remember giving it all away. So I will be looking, but I have to go through that room. So it will definitely pop up if I still have it. And we're talking about chef hats, because she does home and careers. And I at one time bought a ton of chef hats. You know what I may also have, but I don't know. So I can't promise, but I may even have aprons, because for some reason in my head, I got thinking that I may have bought hats and aprons. I don't know. I'll have to look. But a lot of downsizing will be happening. So our little living area, we'll have our little living area, and then we'll have a ginormous studio area. I don't know. We'll see. Holly has I don't know if you follow Holly from Dandelion Stitches. She just moved her studio, and she has a fireplace in it. So I don't know. That's the only thing that I worry about, is anything smelling like fire smoke. Have a lovely day off to work. Oh, you too, Chloe. Have a great day. Take care of yourself. Did not get my grant? Wait, I thought you got your grant, Annette. Did not get my grant. I thought you got your grant. Please let us know if you got your grant or not. So Annette applied for a grant for her school so that they can get sewing machines. And we need to know if she got that grant or not. Nope. Wow. Well, we're going to have to come up with something else. Community members, come on, ladies and gentlemen, and anybody else out here. Boy, if you're a philanthropist out here, no grant. If you are a philanthropist out there, I work in a school. I know how difficult it is to get stuff. If you are able and have the means, we need to set something up for Annette so that she can get sewing machines in her home ec class. You know, Annette, I read a lot about this 301, and as I was reading more about the 301 and the 301A, it actually was designed at one point for the use of schools. And a lot of schools back in the day, when they made this sewing machine, used it for that purpose. Hold on, let me not burn myself. Almost didn't. So I'm wondering, could we get a whole, I don't know how many sewing machines are you needing? Maybe we can get 301s or 301As, get them refurbished, right? If anybody knows how to do that. And then, I mean, there's a lot of 301As and 301s by me, like on Facebook Marketplace, because I'm on it all the time, because I'm looking for a long bed. They don't need the long bed. The short beds, they seem to be a lot on Facebook Marketplace, but they are in the $100 to $200 range. But in my area, I'm able, now that I have restored mine, to be able to kind of take it apart, oil it, grease it, and get it in working condition. The thing is how to get it to Michigan. We might, I'm like envisioning a whole, like my whole back of my car full of sewing machines that have been reconditioned. I don't know how far, what could be a halfway point to Michigan? Or maybe someone would pay postage for us. I don't know. We'll have to think about this. So well, you know what, Annette? I'm going to contact you on, we'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk. I will email you and we will actually have a physical conversation. Another adventure. Exactly. We have to have a physical conversation about this. Because I think it's important, right? We're all on the sewing channel. It's important that we bring in the young to sew. I mean, it's so important to keep this craft alive, this art alive. So we're going to have to talk. Maybe maybe, I don't know. Maybe something. Maybe we can do some kind of drive and raise some money. Because what kind of sewing machines were you wanting to buy? Using 4 old home machines that I have refurbished for 20 students per class right now. No, that's unacceptable. Sorry, that's unacceptable in my world. So, and I know that home and careers is at the bottom of the chain when it comes to school spending. Yes. So maybe it could be that folks who have a very good sewing machine who are not using it anymore maybe can mail. We are going to talk. So this is ideas. Come on, let's come up with some ideas. We could ask, right, if anyone has a very good sewing machine in working operation that's a little bit more modernized, and then maybe they can be mailed to Annette. That's one idea. We can refurbish. I would really say like a 301, because after reading all about why the 301 was, one of the reasons why the 301 was developed, how it was used in schools, and how I've been using it for sewing. And actually, Brenda from Mount Scrapmore, I believe she uses it. And I think Darlene's Michaud's, I think her sewing machine is a 301A. I think that's a good vintage machine, right? Let's say vintage, more affordable machine that we can refurbish. Because of the fact that it has not as much maintenance as one would need, and what maintenance it is so minimal that it could be done. That could be a class in it. How to maintain an old vintage sewing machine. And you could unscrew the bottom. It's really easy. You unscrew the bottom and you unscrew the top, and the gears and everything are right there to oil and grease. Not the gear, you're greasing gears, you're not oiling gears. Is there a quilt shop near you? Maybe they can put out you are accepting donations. Yes, we're going to help Annette find her machines. We just have to figure it out. There's some ideas where we could, 301s, I really do think it's great. We have that maybe someone has a newer machine, and yes, knowing maintenance is a must. Yes, a newer machine, which I don't know the maintenance on a newer machine. I take all my new machine. I spend a ridiculous, my LQS charges me $290, I think it cost me this past year, or $285 to service my baby lock Aria, which to me is insane. But I don't know how to service it. But you know what? I'm enjoying this 301 and I can service this myself. So that's maybe I won't be using my baby lock as much as, but it is a great machine. So we'll have to think there. I'm sure there are some subscribers out there. I only have 9 of you out on here right now, but maybe in the mass that may have a machine laying around. Maybe set a GoFundMe. So Tessa, GoFundMes in schools. I'm not sure. I don't think that would fly at my school. I think I would get in trouble. She would really have to investigate that, because I don't know, like it's different if you're giving a school so money, it's hard. If you're giving the physical item to the school, you're giving the physical item to the school, you're giving the physical item to the school, and then it goes through the school board. This is how we do it at our school. I don't know, maybe different there. and then that physical item gets tagged to your class. When there's money involved for GoFundMe, the money is accepted by the school, but it may not go to your class. It's accepted by the school for school use. So it's hard because it may not be tagged for sewing machines. This is something we have had an issue with in the past. I'm sure there's a legal way to do it for the school, but I don't know, and I just know it's a hard thing. And I want to make sure that whatever money that's given to the school will actually be used for those sewing machines, and not because, I don't know, not that math isn't important, it is, but normally there is a math budget, and normally that budget is bigger than the home and careers budget. Meeting with my superintendent today, she has been very helpful. That's how I got the machines I have. Yes, and they are, right? Administrators, but their hands are tied. My principal was wonderful, and she would try as hard as she can to get certain things, but in the end, she is not the all say. So can you all do a fundraiser? That's a good question, Sheila. Could she just do a separate fundraiser? Because you know what, at our school we do have separate fundraisers, right? We have the fundraiser for the prom, we have the fundraiser for the party, they have a fundraiser for a certain thing. You know, all the sports teams have their own fundraisers. Where are you located? I believe Michigan, but I'm not sure exactly where in Michigan, Melanie. Maybe, you know what? This is an idea. Maybe we can de-stash. I don't know. I'll have to go home and see. Maybe I can de-stash. Not anything you guys sent me, because that I need for sewing. But I do have older material that I wouldn't mind de-stashing. Vintage. I do love my vintage fabric, but I wouldn't mind de-stashing some of that. So she is in the lower Michigan near Indiana. And then maybe that money from the de-stash can be purchased a new machine from Amazon, and then it could be shipped right to Annette. Because I know that there was a content creator who got shipped a sewing machine because hers broke from a lovely subscriber. So it is possible that people do buy machines and ship them to somewhere for a specific reason. It would probably cost me more for shipping than my machine are worth. Yes, that's the thing. So that's why I'm saying maybe there can be some kind of, I think Amazon, you can make a wish list, right? Just hear me out. And I think you can make a wish list. And then what you can do is put the machine that you think would work best for your classroom in there. And then I believe anyone can go in there and not necessarily, I mean, if they're able to buy a machine, God bless them, that's wonderful. But I believe you can put money towards it, because I remember going into a wish list and it said, would you like to, you know, they showed me all the purchases, and then it says you can put money towards this big purchase. Like in a wedding situation, I went in there and I guess someone had like a refrigerator on there that was like $2,000. Well, they didn't expect anybody could pay $2,000 and give it that to them as their wedding gift, but you can contribute to the cost of the refrigerator, whether it be $50 or $100. And maybe by doing that, you might be able to, because right, even if someone went in there and put $1 or $5, that's $5 more than you had yesterday that can go towards this machine. Any working machine is a good machine right now. I agree. But shipping is a problem, because I shipped my grandmother, the white that she has here was shipped. It was $90 to ship it here. $90. But she really wanted her machine. I had bought her a new brother. She didn't like it. We had gotten her something else. She didn't like it. She wanted her machine, so we shipped it. Good morning, Yesenia. So I would think that you could set up an Amazon wish list where people can just contribute money towards a machine, or if you put 6 machines in there, whatever many machines, they can put anywhere from like $1 on up, and who knows, you might at least get one machine. If we all put $1 or $2 or $5 or whatever it was that we couldn't afford, I would peruse that. I think they may be a good idea. it's just a thought. But I will think more and I will contact you. Because, you know, we make things happen here in this quilting community. We helped out Crystal Hart when she needed help. And I think we can all come together and find out some solutions. And maybe there's people on here from Michigan who have machines sitting in their house and willing to, you know, meet you halfway or take them to the school or something like that. So just thoughts. Hadn't thought of that kind of wish list. That's a good idea. Yes. Oh, I think out of the box. I've done a lot of fundraising. I used to be the PTA president for our school when my daughter was in kindergarten. And boy, I have done some wild fundraisers to make money. Because when I went there was like no money in the pot. And I wanted to do a whole lot for those kids. So I have a car and will drive, yes. And so I have always thought outside of the box, because the problem with fundraisers in schools, and I'm sure most of you know this, is you get the donut fundraiser, right? The Krispy Kreme fundraiser, or buy the candy, right? Hawk's chocolate or something like that. But really, the corporation makes a big chunk of that money. It's a little percentage that the schools get back. I think it's a little percentage, but you know. So normally it's like, I don't know, sometimes 30 or 40% of the proceeds, which when you think of proceeds, they take out everything, right? They take out what that cost of that chocolate is, which they should, right? And then they take out the shipping of that chocolate and everything. So let's say by the time you made $100 sale, but by the time proceeds get there, it's $20. Well, now they're only giving you 40% of that $20 instead of 40% of the $100, let's say. I mean, it's been a while. And then that was, again, way back in the like in the early 2000s or 2000. So I was always thinking out of the box where you could get the most bang for your buck, I guess, you know, the most money from a fundraiser. I lived in Michigan for a year. It was too cold. Yeah, it's cold by me. I don't know, not now, but in New York. So some out-of-the-box fundraisers I've done is a penny social. I don't know if that's a thing by you, but by us, it's a thing, a penny social. Yes, that's how fundraisers work. That's right. So you get very little, and you're doing a lot of the work. So a penny social doesn't really exist anymore for a penny, but it used to. Now when I go to penny socials by me, it's now where you used to get 4 sheets, right? It was 25 tickets on a sheet. Was $1. So you theoretically got 100 little teeny tiny tickets. And these tickets are expensive. So mind you do have to buy the stuff to make the fundraiser. Now when you go to a penny social, you get 1 sheet, which is 25 tickets for $1. So I don't know if you should be calling it a penny social anymore. I don't know what that thing would be called. But anyway, that's fun. Everybody, what you do is you put out a mass. Like, this has nothing to do with quilting, but I'm going to help anybody out there who needs fundraising help. So you can just call it, I don't know what to call it, because they I think they still do call them penny socials, and then they put like an asterisk, no longer a penny. So what you do is you go and you put a flyer out there saying you're looking for nice, gently used or new, and you prefer new items to be donated to your fundraiser. You put that out there. And then you get massive amount of stuff. And half of the stuff is not what you would want to put out there, but you can then take that portion that you don't want to necessarily use and put it in another pile for if someone would like for a freebie, or donate it to another organization, whatever. It's a slippery slope. Or maybe you just suck it up and you use it anyway and you put it on the table. And then you take, well, back in the day it was a coffee can. People collected them. I had a whole closet full of them. But you can use like a solo cup or something. And you put the item there. You put number 1 and the solo cup. And you just keep putting all the items on tables. And then someone's there at the table. And they collect the money. They give people tickets. And the ticket has a number, so you have to be present. You cannot win unless you're present, because nobody's writing their name on thousands of tickets. So then you go around as the prospective person who's supporting this fundraiser, and you start putting tickets in all your thing. And then at the end of the night, you give them, I don't know, 2 hours, and you start calling. the winner of this gently used, I don't know. I've even had fresh fruit. People have delivered boxes of fruit. I'd be like, okay, this Pana, and pull out a number and says 679. You are the winner of this, because that's mostly profit, and we've had lots of success. I mean, I've made thousands of dollars on just one penny social. So that's just a thought, but it is work, and you can get your kids involved in the school too. When I volunteered in a school, I even want to business asking for sponsorships, and they gave raffle items. Yes. So what we did was we had businesses who said, we don't have anything to donate, but we're going to give you a gift certificate. Those gift certificates did not go with the penny social stuff. Those gift certificates went on a separate table in which we had the rolls of raffle tickets. It's a different kind of ticket. It's just a regular raffle ticket. I'm sure you've seen what names on it. It says the back name. And then we put like those tickets 5 for $1. So we always had like 2 different things. I'm glad you brought that up, Sheila, because that's what we did. I'm going to ask today about having a no bake sale. Donate the money you spend either making or buying the baked instead of actually doing it. Oh, that's a great idea. I've never thought of that. I'm going to put that in my repertoire of fundraising, because we're always fundraising at our school. I like that, Annette. Because you know what? There are times the PTA knows I'm a baker, and I mean, I'm part of the PTA, and they go, can you bake me something? I'm like, no, but I can give you $10 or $20 so that I don't have to bake something because I don't have time. That is a group of kids that sells baked goods at the school on election day, and they always do well. Gluten-free options are appreciated. Yes, we do. So baked goods used to be a thing, right? Bake sales. We had thousands of bake sales. Are you kidding me? At the penny social, we had a bake sale. And so people would come and they want to eat and drink, and we had baked stuff, and that's why we made so much money, I think, because we had baked items that they bought and, beverages. And then you had your penny social, and then you had your little raffle table. But now, since COVID happened, you have to actually go to the health department, get a permit so that you can have a bake sale. They come, they inspect you the day of the bake sale. Everything has to be individually wrapped. Not that we didn't wrap before, but it has to come in individually wrapped from that person. And they really, really frown upon it. We had all kinds of not success getting everything how it should be. So in the end, like this year, we had like an end of the year thing, and we were told, no, you know what? You can have the bake sale, but it has to be all free. You can't charge any money for your bake sale. So there's so many crazy legalities with bake sales now in New York State. It's kind of crazy. So you could have the most successful bake sale is people actually buying like Little Debbie's and going to a bakery and having the bakery box each and every little thing individually. Then we can do it with absolutely no issues. It's kind of gotten really crazy with bake sales. I don't know if you have that issue over there, but I see a lot of ideas coming in. So let's see what other things are happening. But I like that no bake sale thing. Yeah. Not after COVID, all pre-made. Yes. Commercial made. Yes. Yep, you can't. It's so hard. The Chick-fil-A does fundraisers with the school. We don't have a Chick-fil-A by us. We have a cakewalk, but had to be store-bought. Yes, we just had a cakewalk too. And exactly. Donations instead of fixed price made more money. Yes, that is absolutely true, Sheila. At the end of the year, they might have been people who they always have a donation bucket out there. They do that too. It is weird, the penny social, we ran the penny social for years without any issues. And one of my last years of doing the penny social, we actually had some New York State gambling person contact us and say that we can no longer run penny socials without a gambling license, because now New York State considers penny social fundraiser as a gambling event. So I had to apply to get a gambling license every time we had a raffle or an event. So that's the thing in New York State. I don't know if in Michigan. Donation, the band kids just come by asking for money. Any fundraiser has to be cleared to not interfere with other high school and junior high school sports classes and club fundraisers. Absolutely. And that's a nightmare, because for those who are not in a school, the list is outrageous, and you can't be doing the same fundraiser too. So if such and such is doing a Krispy Kreme, this group can't do a Krispy Kreme, even though it's during a different time. It is insane. Just another way to get your money. Well, New York State wants their portion of everything. So, because you have to apply and you have to pay to apply for those permits. But like I said, the penny socials, they are outrageous. And a lot, like our fire department does a penny social. Like a lot of people in our areas do penny socials because they do so well that it is worth to do the little bit of hassle to get your penny social or your gambling license for the day or whatever that is. I mean, you would think like we're like betting on horses or something crazy like that, instead of like maybe like a piece of fruit or you know, someone's, I don't know. You get all kinds of weird stuff at a penny social. You get lamps, you get all kinds of stuff. But what you may consider trash is someone else's treasure. And there's always someone who wants whatever is at that penny social station. I can't tell you, like, I thought nobody's going to want this box of books, but I had to put them out there because someone donated them and they were in decent shape. Well, those books went like crazy. And I mean, they were yellowing and half out of it. Like they were beyond their point. We had school classes being sponsored by food business sponsors. These classes at the businesses, 20% of the funds go to the class. Oh, that's good. But you know, I think, and I'm not sure how it is there, but if you go to a business, I would encourage them to actually buy the item and donate the item to the school. I can't tell you how many times I've spoken to people, not necessarily at my district. I'm not saying this happened at my district, but I've worked with other teachers from other states, and the money that gets fundraised and goes through the school business office ends up not where it's supposed to be. And it's a big hassle for that teacher to just try to get it back. So if you can find a business who would love to sponsor you, maybe don't ask them for money. Maybe say, can you purchase 5 sewing machines, or can you purchase a sewing machine for my class? Small town, very small town, not a lot of businesses, no fast food to restaurants. Yep, that happens too. Yes. Right. So we had small businesses too. But you know, some of our businesses, I'm telling you, they would, even though they're tiny businesses, they'll give you $10, $15, $20 gift cards. And you can do raffles that way, like a raffle table, an event. It's harder at the middle school, high school level. I will admit that. When you're in an elementary school level, it is so much more contained and a lot easier. When you get to that middle school, high school, it is very hard. I did a Zumba. Back in the day, I used to teach Zumba, and we had a Zumbathon, and my mom was involved in it. And all the work I had to do to get this Zumbathon, and then I had to, you know, fill out the paperwork to get the gym so that I can use the gym for that Zumbathon. It's harder for middle school, high school, and I did it for the middle school, high school. That Zumbathon was my daughter's year. It was my son's year for prom, and it was to raise money for prom. So it's much harder. It's doable, but it is harder. But you know, you could possibly rent out the cafeteria or the gym to run a penny social. And I bet you it would be so unique, especially if your area has never heard of a penny social. It is a really hoot. It is such a hoot to do. And once you get them, I bet you everyone else would want to steal your idea. And you know, you don't want them to do that. You'll have carte blanche of having that idea for yourself in that. Um, and it'd be fun, you know, because you get the kids involved. That's an event you would have to do during the school year. So even if you get your sewing machines, and let's say you want to fundraise for material and stuff, or ingredients and stuff like that for your class, that may be a good idea. Yes, I know. I am the senior class advisor. Yes, so you know how that goes. I was always asked to be senior class advisor, and I just didn't have the time, because when you're not working in that per se school, but your kids go to that school, you know, I was a parent for my 3 times in that middle school, high school. So yeah, it's a lot of work. But I just realized the time, I'm getting hungry. I will take you, maybe that's what we'll do tomorrow. I will put it in. Tomorrow we will have a live, and I think it'll be smoothie making and more. We'll discuss more. And then we will think more on how our community can help Annette. So if you're watching this on replay and you feel like you are a person that could help this cause, please, now that it should all be in my description, please contact me, and I can pass the information along to Annette, and we can make this work. Let's get kids to sew again, all right? And let's bring some new young blood into the quilting community. I would love to see that happen. So everyone, have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself, because you are all important to all of us. And I appreciate every single one of you who've come in, stopped in, hit the thumbs up button, anything you do in life. I just appreciate you. And take care of yourself, pass it forward. And if you like what you see, please subscribe, like, and share my channel. Let everybody know that I'm out there. So take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye.